This meeting is being recorded.
About that time.
Hey, Travis.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, Coach. Yes, sir, Coach. Yes, sir, Coach. You want me to run, Coach?
You know, I still have
You're giving those Arkansas Tech coaching vibes. And by the way, folks, Clint did tell me that he is wearing polyester coaching shorts.
Yep.
Pulled all the way up past his belly button right now.
Yeah, that's up there. They're up to my nipples. Yeah. Alexa, stop. My Alexa's going crazy. You know, we did discover, my wife got a new Kia. We discovered, I sent you a Marco Polo, that you can say, "Hey, Kia," and it wakes up the car.
Yeah.
And so my car started talking back to me, and I had no idea what was going on, and I was very confused.
Yeah.
On the road trip. So
computers are taking over.
Yeah. I mean, it's here. It's here. The computer overlords.
And I'm here for it. To be honest with you, if I could have a computer just do everything I need to, like clean my house and run my errands and go work out for me, I mean, that'd be awesome.
You know what I'm going to do when the computer overlords take over?
I know exactly what you're going to do.
I'm going to give up.
No, but here's what the computers are going to be able to do, Clint.
Oh,
computers are going to be able to tell you that you need to like, that you need to subscribe. You need to share podcasts such as the Hawg Slop podcast.
It's a great one. Yeah, I mean, iRobot, do what iRobot does.
Listen, until they turn red, you're good. When they're green, they're handy dandy. Grandma loved them, remember?
But when they turn on you, just give up and do it.
When they turn, just make sure you got plenty of these episodes downloaded, because you're going to be in your hidey hole needing something to entertain you. And that's what we're here.
Either that, or you'll have to give up and just be enslaved to the robots.
Yeah, and there's worse things that could happen.
Yeah,
there's worse. I'm not gonna list them, but
go ahead, Travis. We've got an hour.
How about we just listen to some? How about this? You and I will talk about it offline.
There you go.
And they can listen to some music. How about that?
But come on, cue up some Sean Michelle.
Gotcha.
1, 2, 3, 4. You ever seen a lame man walk? Ever heard a dumb man talk? Ever seen a blind man see? I promise you a change his thing. You ever seen a cancer dead? Ever seen all the poor get fed? Ever seen a prisoner set free? I promise you a change his thing. Broken heart made whole. Never seen an open find a home. Never seen a weak find a strength. I promise you a change is thing. Never seen the sick get healed. Never seen a mystery revealed. Never seen a dead man raised. I promise you a change is thing.
What's up, everybody? It's time. It is that time for the Hawg Slop podcast. I'm your boy, Bigger T, joined as always by my man, Big C, Clint Clark, down in Victoria, Texas, wearing his Arkansas Tech coaching attire. How you doing, Hall of Famer?
Man, I am fantastic. But I tell you, there's a reason why I'm wearing Arkansas Tech attire today. There's a reason.
There's a reason.
And I know I told you earlier I was going to go play golf. I ain't going to get to play golf because it's been raining all day and they shut the course down.
Yeah.
So it's a video game type of day.
Yeah.
But I'm going to tell you, Travis, every now and then something happens in your life. You see something like, dadgummit, that's impressive. That is impressive. It is impressive. Well, I'm going to talk about some fellow Arkansas Tech Athletic Hall of Famers.
Gotcha.
From the 98-99 women's basketball team, made a deep run in the Division II tournament, won the conference. There's a Zany Fisher. Now, I had their names pulled up and then my phone went away, but give me 1 second. But anyway, long story short, these ladies, same age as me, they were in college at the same time as me. And Travis, I don't know, have we done a podcast since you turned 50?
No, we haven't. No.
So Travis Johnson, happy 50th birthday.
5-0.
The big 5-0.
Yeah.
I tell you, mine's coming up at the end of June, and I will definitely 100%. I will be posting Molly Shannon, Sally O'Malley as my profile photo the day I turn 50. So, Zany Fisher, now I think her Mowdy was her name back in college. Mandy Husky Mears. I had them. There's two more pulled up. Let's see. Mindy Stokes and Alyssa Harrell. Now there was a fundraiser for someone that had a cancer patient in Harmony Grove. They're trying to do a three-on tournament fundraiser.
Mm-hmm.
And trust me, if there's something me and you know about, that is a 3-on-3 basketball fundraiser.
That's right.
Now at this age, I don't think we would play, much less go out there and can compete.
No.
But these ladies, so they went in college with me. So even if they were freshmen, they're 45 years old.
Yeah.
They're 45 and up.
Yeah.
These ladies went out there, that 3-on-3 tournament, played against the youngins.
Mm-hmm.
And we're not just competitive, but they won the thing.
Nice.
They went by Golden Suns Reloaded.
Yeah.
Went out there. There was an ER visit and a broken nose. So one of the ladies did end up in the ER. And, really, I do jiu-jitsu, but I'm going against people my own age. Yeah. So they're out there playing against all ages and freaking won it. That is impressive.
It is. Yeah.
The only thing I can think of that came close in my life to relate, it was one time my stepson came over with his little friends.
Yeah.
And they had boxing. They were going out front boxing.
Yeah.
And there's a piece of me is like, you know what? I'm gonna put the gloves on, go out there and show them boys how it's done. Like go out there and show them, throw a little jab,
Yeah.
And then I'm like, okay, this is gonna end one of two ways: with me in the emergency room or me in jail.
Yeah.
And I didn't think there was really an in between. There was no satisfying ending for Clint. It was just bad. And so yeah. But man, that impressed the fire to me that them ladies did that, to go out there.
That is cool, man. That is neat to go back and, well, of course, if you know anything about Arkansas Tech ladies basketball, they've had great programs. I mean, as far as D2, probably, what would you say, the best one in the state for years?
Yeah, yes, the best one in the state by far, women's basketball.
Joe Foley was the coach, and of course, ended up at Arkansas Little Rock, but so they were probably solid back in the day. But people that were solid back in the day, when you put years on you, and so for them, like you said, to do it now, and especially going against probably some younger folks. That is impressive.
I saw some videos they posted. They were definitely going against younger folks. So,
yeah.
Travis, let me ask you a question, seriously. At this age, let's say it's me, you, Robert, and Wesley.
Yeah.
Against a group of 8th graders.
Yeah.
We're going to 10.
Yeah.
And we'll just say average bench players on a junior high basketball team.
Okay.
What's the score?
Going to 10?
Going to 10.
10-6, they beat us.
Yeah. Well, because we'll force it inside to like me or Robert or something.
Yeah, but they're probably gonna get lucky because we're not gonna be able to guard them outside, and they're gonna hit some jump shots, and we're not gonna be able to stop them.
Yeah. Well, okay. Would you say that just like now, or like we practiced for like 2 weeks?
No, I think going against 8th graders.
Yeah.
I think we would at least score 6 in the post on them.
Yeah.
Now, if it was make it, take it, we may not work out. But
yeah, no, make it, take it. Yeah.
But if it was alternating shot, we could. Because we would at least get down low and make something on them. But
the chances of me committing a hard foul and getting punched by an 8th grader,
it would be guaranteed. Yeah.
About 80%.
Yeah.
75 to 80%.
Yeah. Well, the punching part, because I think you would be bigger than them, and so they would hesitate on the punching, but the committing the hard foul.
But they would be salty with me.
Yeah, more than likely. Yeah.
I've had Ole Miss's athletic director salty with me in a basketball.
You have, and I took the brunt of that.
You did take the brunt of that. Yeah, there's SEC level basketball players, and then there's us.
That's right. Yeah. Even back when
we were decent.
when we were decent at it, that was still a big gap.
We were decent rec league players. We weren't decent high school players or decent,
Yeah.
we could have. I think if me and you either worked, if we like all kidding aside, if when we were in high school, if me and you would have like put time and energy into working on like real basketball,
Yeah.
I think we could have been decent bench players on the high school team.
Yeah. I mean,
Well, I mean, especially you were a better basketball player than me.
Yeah.
Even though Oliver Miller did say he thought I looked like I would be the better basketball player.
That's true. Yeah.
But you were far better than me at basketball.
Yeah.
But,
I did put in the work because I would play every day for 2 or 3 hours a day, but that's what I had to do because I wasn't that good at it, so I had to put that much effort into it. But anyway, Clint, let's talk a little Razorback stuff, and we're going to talk some more basketball later. But we got to talk about baseball because it's SEC tournament time.
Yeah,
the Hogs play later today against Tennessee. And Tate McGuire is going as the starting pitcher. How do you think Van Horn approaches the SEC tournament? Do you think he goes out and like really, I mean, what do you think his approach is? Let's go out and win this whole thing, or do you think it's let's practice games? What do you think it's going to be?
I listened to a little bit of John Neighbors before I jumped on this podcast. I want to credit. I 100% agree with his take, and it's not often that I agree with the John Neighbors take. But like, just go play ball.
Yeah.
Throw your pitcher out there who you think's the freshest and got the best arm that day, and then you just go out there and you play baseball. If you win, you win. You lose, you lose. Because you got Tennessee today, which I believe is what, the 10 seed.
I think so, something like that.
So you're going against the 10 seed, you're the 7 seed. So you win that one, you got Texas. And obviously, I think, if you had a big arm, if you want to play like Hunter Dietz, he's going to pitch against Texas. You're going to pitch probably a midweek game today.
Yeah.
Even though this is the quarterfinals, right? So you've only got 3 games to play, and you're normally playing a 3-game series anyway. So I think just go play ball. At least they got away from that format where, like, okay, the first round is double elimination. The second round's triple elimination. The third round's settled by a 3-legged sack race on Tuesday.
That's right, yeah.
And then the winner's decided by coin flip and hacky sack.
Yeah, I really think the approach has to be a mix of, I mean, you got to approach it with your players if you're a coach. And it's the same way I think we should have done that. I think you approach the basketball tournament or anything else. You go out and you try to win, but you also don't wear out your guys. Okay, so you let them pitch and you give them game time pitching. It's almost like a midweek game, right?
Yeah.
A midweek game against a good quality team, not a midweek game against a UAPB or something like that. Not the UAP, I'm not dogging them, but you know what I mean. A midweek game that does have some meaning, because you get out there, you let guys pitch, but you have a quick hook with them. For one thing, you want them leaving on a positive note, as much positive as you can. So you don't want to get a guy get out there leaving, he's loaded the bases, Hunter Dietz out there leaving with he's given up 2 home runs and loaded the bases up before you take him out. I would shoot for 2 or 3 innings per pitcher and let them rotate through.
Well, you remember last year with Gage Wood, he we had Kozel on here, and we're talking about how he pulled him after like 40-something pitches.
Yeah.
You could tell Gage wasn't happy.
Yeah.
He's looking up at the scoreboard, and they were all in the scoreboard like, what?
Yeah.
And then Van Horn's like, well, they're barely missing. So you want to be sure that you don't destroy their psyche.
That's right.
That, your big arms, because they've been playing better as late. They won the Oklahoma series, and they won in Kentucky, 2 out of 3. And especially that last game, game 3, they had every chance to quit, but they kept battling.
Yeah.
Normally when you get it out up to a big lead like that, and we'll get into that later when we talk about that, is you got to keep them, like, you get a big lead, then come back, they can tie it, but you can't let them get hit.
Yeah.
They get ahead, usually it's over. And so the baseball team did. They gave up a 11-run lead, 10 or 11.
10 or 11, yeah.
So it was double digits, but they fought back as Kentucky was coming back. And I'm going to give credit to Kentucky because you know what?
Yeah.
A lot of teams, you get down 10-0 in the first inning, you're like, well, I quit.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so you got to give Kentucky credit on that.
Yeah,
one.
They're on their third pitcher before they get an out in the first inning. Kentucky was.
Yeah,
and I mean they were a gritty group, and of course we helped them. We helped them out a little bit, but
well, it doesn't matter to me because they took the help.
Yeah,
I mean, how many times we've seen the Razorback football team get helped, and then they're like, "No, man, you have this back."
That's right. That's true.
I've seen it. So,
what matters in the end is the W, doesn't it?
What matters in the end? So yeah, I think me and you are in agreement on that. Travis, what do you think? I mean, obviously, you look at the polls right now.
Yeah,
you look at the polls. You're in the top 16 in all the polls. So
yeah, I was just looking at that.
So I think universally, I would say an average of 12. I mean, there's different polls that may have us higher or lower.
In the Baseball America poll, we're 10th, and the D1 baseball, we're 12th, and the NCBWA, whatever that is 13th, and USA Today coaches poll, we're 13th, and then Perfect Game, we're 17th.
So yeah, so I would put us, consensus around 12, 13, somewhere in there. Wouldn't you, Travis?
Yeah.
So if you're taking the average, you're around 12, 13. Now, most of the projection I've seen had us as a 2 seed. I've seen going to Kansas, I've seen going to Nebraska, and I've seen going to Southern Miss.
Yeah.
So, Trav, what do you think we have to do to host a regional? I don't even think if we win the SEC tournament, that's going to be enough. I don't think winning the SEC tournament handily, winning every game by a run rule and everybody, will get you to be a super regional host. I just don't think there's time.
See, that's what I was thinking. Well, super regional for sure. Regional. That's what I was thinking the other day too, Clint. And then I'll listen to Mike Irwin talk, and he thinks if we win the game today against Tennessee, that we have a good chance of hosting a regional. Because he said this was before we knew if we were going to play Tennessee. He said if Tennessee wins, that they have a big enough RPI that it'll keep us higher ranked, even if we lose the second game. And that what it'll come down to is NCAA will say Baum Stadium is a better venue than 90% of the other ones. And we're going to make the NCAA is going to make more money because there's going to be more butts in the seat if we let Arkansas host. And they have a look. They won 7 SEC series this year. Van Horn has won rings years. He's won 7 SEC series. Okay. In the past. Although this season, look, the Stetson deal looked terrible. We got all these other things. I mean,
got swept at home by Florida. There has been.
I mean, there's been some bad. There's definitely been some bad. But when you look at it, this season as a whole, this season hasn't been that terrible. There's been some ugly games, okay? There's been some ugly games. But there's been some really good ones too, okay? And so I still think I'm with you. I still think we're number 2 seed somewhere. But I just wanted to put that out there. There's some people that are smarter than us that think we still got a chance to host. But those people that are smarter than us aren't always right.
Yeah. Okay. Let me ask you a question, Travis. Let's take the Razorbacks out of it. Let's just say Tennessee has a resume.
Yeah.
Somebody that's been, Tennessee's not, they've won a national title, but they're not traditional baseball power. Let's say Vanderbilt, because Vanderbilt's a traditional baseball power. Yeah. So you got Vanderbilt. They have the exact same resume as Arkansas. The exact same.
Yeah.
So you're looking at them. You got that resume, and let's say they beat Tennessee and they beat Texas, and they lose in the finals. They beat Texas, losing the finals to Georgia.
Yeah.
So you go 2-1 in the SEC tournament, make it to the finals, and you lose. So you got to be looking at them. You got to be looking at Southern Miss, regular season Sun Belt champion. I'm just using them as an example. There's others,
yeah.
But I know a lot of people. I've seen Southern Miss being a 1 seed. Who deserves it? Who would deserve it more, Vanderbilt or Southern Miss?
You know, as a sports fan, you got to say Southern Miss because they're the champion, right? Or they've,
Right.
you want to reward that. You want to reward the, league champions, all that kind of stuff. But then, if you're looking at it from the NCAA's perspective, it's about the money, Clint. We're going to talk about that some later, but that's the world we live in. And the one thing we have going for us for Arkansas is when we host, we put butts in the seats, and it's a big, and our location's good, right? I mean, we're centrally located, so it's not like it's a huge travel for, it's not like it's, West Coast, East Coast, something like that. So you can, it'll be a good place to send people to because it won't take them long to get there. So I can see both ways. I mean, as a sports fan, if it was another team, uh, you know, if it was say Vandy, that they have a great home environment. I mean, I could see them giving it to Vandy just because they're going to be a better host. It's easier to get into fly into Nashville than it is to Hattiesburg, Mississippi. Okay. But I agree. I mean, but then the sports fan of me is like, that's sorry for people like Southern Miss because they've done it all year to earn it.
Well, and you got to ask yourself, how would a Southern Miss done if they played in the SEC?
Oh yeah.
What are you better served being the number one team in the Sun Belt or the number 6, 7, 8 team in the SEC?
That's right.
I mean, well, it helps that, Arkansas' traditional power, and they've got probably the best baseball program that's never won a national title.
Well, them in Florida State.
Yeah. I mean, they're
that's
1, 2.
Which that would be wild if we ended up in Tallahassee as a 2 seed. Because that's the two teams with the most wins that haven't won it.
Yeah. So.
But yeah. So anyway, this team, it's just what it's going to come down to. Like everybody's talking about, like everybody knows, it's going to come down to pitching. Because I think our bats are doing pretty good right now. I think offensively, well, I say that. We're going to need our bats to score a lot of runs to make up for some of our pitching. But we need our pitchers to not make mistakes. They're making a lot of mistakes. They're leaving a lot of balls in places they shouldn't. And we'll see. I love this team, man. We've talked about it before. These are some good guys. They're fun to watch. But we need them. And I think that the talent's there. The talent's there, Clint, I believe. Yeah. I think that we got pitchers that are talented. I think we got players that are talented. It's just, are they going to be able to put it all together? And it's kind of hard to ask that when they haven't done it as well as we would like to see so far. So anyway.
But Travis, like I've said before, how many times has this team peaked too soon?
Oh yeah.
I mean, you remember Caden Wallace's team. That team was the best team in baseball.
Yeah.
All season long.
Yep.
I mean, I think they were about number 1 from like week 2 to the end of the season.
Yeah.
It just
and that's a great point because you got to like what you're seeing with Micah New's bat is doing great. Stewart's bat's doing great.
Yeah, 100%.
Aloy, or as those stupid announcers last week were Alloy or whatever they were calling him. They couldn't get any of the guys' names right. But anyway, his bat's back where it needs to be. Kozel has been, Kozel's average isn't as good as you would like it, but Kozel in clutch positions is money. Okay, he's been money. So you got to like what you're seeing as far as that goes. Okay, and so you're exactly right. How many times have we been gangbusters and then all of a sudden went cold? It seems to be like we're getting hot at the right time, especially when the bats go. The scary part is we're not getting that with pitching, like with the Gage Wood deal. You mentioned him last year. Well, part of that was he was coming back from an injury, and Van Horn was trying to get him revved up so he could use him in the regionals and in the World Series and all that. And we don't have. It doesn't seem like our guys are. Those pitchers are amping up. Dietz does seem like it. Geichel was until last. I mean, we've seen some. Like he's coming back. He's kind of hit his downswing, and maybe he's coming back. So,
but here's the thing: those pitchers, like especially Gabe Geichel, he's got major league. He's got MLB stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, he does. Sure. I mean, they've got to figure it out. It's got to click, and we'll see if it clicks. This team can win it all. I mean, this team has the talent to win it all.
That's the thing. Yep.
But this team also has shown the ability to go 0-3 at Baum Walker. So which Razorback team's going to show up? Is this team going to peak at the right time? Only one way to find out. That's to tune in. Hopefully they don't lose a national championship on my 50th birthday.
That's right. Well, Clinton, in other news for Razorbacks right now, the other big thing everybody's worried about, everybody's talking about is this basketball team. And, is Billy and Malik, are they coming back? And Wes Moore came out on his radio show a day or two ago, and he said he's hearing from sources that Billy's pretty much going to come back, but Malik is still up in the air. A lot of people are saying Malik really wants to be in this draft. Some of that they think is just because him and Acuff are, kind of tied at the hip a little bit. They came to college together and want to go to the pros together at the same time. But there's a lot of people telling him, if you wait till next year, the draft isn't going to be as deep as what it is this year. And you got a better chance of being a first rounder or higher first rounder after a year. What are your thoughts on that?
Well,
sources news.
Realistically, I think Billy needs to come back. Billy's put like a half a season on film where he was unbelievable. Yeah. I think Billy coming back for his junior year can really work himself up into a potential lottery pick.
Yeah.
Same thing with Malik. Malik's a little bit different case. I think, I can see a team picking around 18, 19, being like, hey, if you're there, we're going to snatch you up.
Yeah.
And you've got to, and then you have to think about that. What you can't have happen if you're Malik is to fall in the second round. You can't have that happen. And there's a chance it could. So really, what are you risking by coming back? You could get injured, but you could also pull a Jalen Williams or Jalen Williams, the guy that's on ESPN now that played for Duke.
Yeah.
Got hurt on in a motorcycle. Anything's gonna happen. Any more in the NIL era, you can make pretty good money in college.
Yeah.
So I hope they both come back. If they both come back, the expectation on this Razorback teams takes a different level.
Yeah. It's and it's interesting because I think by all accounts, Billy had helped himself at the combine. Because he had, his quickness is up there with Acuff's on all the quickness drills. His shooting was better than what people expected. Malik was just Malik. Malik's great. Okay. I'm not downgrading him. I'm just saying he was what they expected him. So he hasn't changed as far as projections. Billy, there's some people that are talking about, hey, that guy could go higher. But still his higher is still not, like you said, he didn't come in with the accolades like a Malik. Malik does.
So Trav, let's just happily say, let's say both of them come back.
Mm-hmm.
You get Billy back and you get Malik back. And then you got this incoming class, 4 or 5 stars, number 1 recruiting class in the country.
Yeah.
You got, you got the 2 transfers, the guard from Georgia, the big from Fordham, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
What's the ceiling? What would your expectations be for that team? I think obviously the ceiling's a national title. I think there's that type of talent, but they're also pretty hard to win. So what would you say the ceiling?
And the weakness everybody would we've been talking about all off season is a big ugly, right? A big, a big strong post player. However, I think the way this team, the more I've thought about it, Clint, over the last couple of weeks, the way this team is built and the way I think they're going to be built, because we haven't seen them on the court yet, right? But by all accounts, Jordan Smith and all the highlights, super physical. JJ Andrews, super physical. Uh, Torrey, whatever his name is, super physical. The kid from the transfer from Furman or Fordham or wherever he's from.
Could be Furman. I could have had that wrong.
He's willing to be physical. That's what he's saying anyway, right? Yeah. He's not as thick as you would like. He's not, the kid from Finland, Mika, for his size, once again, for his size, seems to be pretty physical guy, right? I think overall we're going to be more physical of a team,
Well, you've got that redshirt big that didn't play hardly at all last year. He's coming back. He basically took a redshirt year to develop.
He's like 7'2", yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, there's some size. There's more size on this team than I think we realize. Now, Trav,
I think that, by the way, to your question, I think this team has a chance, of course, to win it all. I really do. Yeah. I think, but we don't know that because we hadn't seen them on the court yet. But I think the makings are there to do.
On paper, I'd be disappointed if they weren't at least a 2 seed in the NCAA tournament.
Yes,
on paper. I do think if you don't get those two back, you're talking Sweet 6, top 16, 4 seed.
Yeah.
So I mean, obviously, Calipari. One thing is that you like about him. I think he's always done what's best for the kid.
Yeah.
When it comes time to go pro, unless he just has somebody else come in and take your spot, in which case he'll go.
And by the way, excuse me.
Bless you.
Those two guys we're talking about, if they come back, were the two most physical guys on the team last year, by far.
Yeah.
Billy, of course, was, right? And Malik, toward the end of the season, we put him shutting down some of the other team's best guards a lot. And he played some shutdown defense. And I'm talking more from the defensive side because I think a Cal team is always going to be good on offense. I don't think offense is going to be a huge issue for us. But yeah, I agree with you. I think on paper, with those two coming back, if they come back, and it's still up in the air whether the Florida guy, they still don't know. It's between us and North Carolina if he gets his waiver. And that's another big man that could be added to the mix. And if you add him, I'd say you're definitely a 2 seed on paper. Okay, for sure. But that's still an up in the air thing. He's from North Carolina originally. Our former coach, assistant coach that was working on trying to get him here is now an assistant at North Carolina now. So I don't know if I like those odds real well, but we'll see what happens.
Well, and their coach has got NBA experience at North Carolina now.
Yeah.
That's
right.
Anyways.
Well, Clint, Mr. Coach Silverfield has been doing his what's it called? His little tour.
All-in roadshow.
All-in roadshow. That's right. He had, I think, Jonesboro, Little Rock, and
Frisco, Texas.
Okay. And out of the one in Frisco, they made it a big deal, which they should, because that's a fertile recruiting ground, and there's lots of Razorback fans in that area, Fort Worth.
Well, I mean, it's pretty much a suburb of Dallas,
Yeah, it is.
It's a souped-up suburb of Dallas, and the history of Razorback football in Dallas, Texas, is pretty rich.
So, of course, Mr. Juracek tagged along. A guy who's not been the most popular Razorback over the last few weeks, would you say?
Yeah.
He's not getting a lot of likes on social media, I guess you could say. But anyway, he made a couple of announcements that have come out that Hog fans are pretty fired up about. And it ties into a lot of other news that's been happening on the Hill. He said that they're close to naming rights for the stadium. Rumor has it, Okay. This is all rumor stuff. This people on like Facebook groups saying this. So take that as probably not true, but I'm going to say it here anyway, that the unnamed sponsor is maybe Walmart stepping up. Okay. But Juracek, all he said was he should have somebody by, or they should be, the deal should be finalized by June, that they hopefully announce it by June, and that it's going to be the biggest, one of the biggest ever contracts for naming rights.
Well, it's not unheard of. I mean, like, what is it? Is it Louisville? They're Kroger Field, or is it's either Louisville or Kentucky? They got Kroger Field.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Yeah. So we'll see. I wouldn't doubt if it was somebody like Walmart. I was thinking Clint, so Clint, the Tyson deal with, he's got the jerseys. I'm wondering if they'll tie that, like say if it is a Walmart, because you can put 2 logos on your jerseys. So we've only announced the Tyson one. So I'm wondering if they're going to tie that's one of the reasons that Juracek can say it's such a big deal, that they're going to tie that to the stadium deal. Maybe. I don't know. Who knows?
Well, I don't know if you were on the Instagram, but they were showing like he took like 5 players with him to there. And what were they all wearing, Travis? What was their head attire? Tyson hats. I mean, they were all wearing Tyson chicken hats. I mean, so obviously them guys were, Tyson was getting them all there.
Yeah.
And I think, and we're talking off air before we go this, because you're talking about Oregon, about how much money some of them guys were making.
Mm-hmm.
And just their war chest of money.
Well, and to let everybody know, since they wouldn't listen to that, it's come out that Oregon, 36 of Oregon's players are making $500,000 or more a year. And that's what kind of what we were talking about.
Well, their starting quarterback that was going to be
like $7 million, something like that.
$7 million. Their backup quarterback
1.5. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, just some crazy numbers that are being reported. Mm-hmm. And I don't think they're inaccurate. So at Oregon, you've got Nike, which used to be how Nike would help them out. We're going to give you the coolest uniforms. Now they're giving them money. You look at what Indiana does. Indiana is being bought and paid for by Mark Cuban.
Partially, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's a good chunk of that's coming from Mark Cuban.
Yeah.
And he can spend $50 million a year, and he ain't going to notice that. He'll lose that on one deal on Shark Tank. But so the more money you have, and so you're that's what you're getting into, is you've got to have this money to do it, and it's whoever's got the richest backer.
Yeah.
And I think people in Arkansas for years have wanted Walmart to step up and really be more than just a fan. I mean, they put a logo up in the stadium. They've got their name on the field.
Yeah.
But no, help us get this quarterback out of the portal.
Yeah. And we'll see what happens. But, and it goes to, the other news that happened since we've had our last podcast is the tennis team is back. What's your initial thoughts when you heard the tennis team was back, Clint?
Well, this all seemed unnecessary. It's what I felt like. Okay, like before you went and canceled the program, before you went and basically terminated your coaches, and you messed with a bunch of people's livelihoods.
Yeah.
What steps did you take? And that's what I don't know.
Exactly. Yeah.
What steps did you take? Obviously, once you said, people were like, whoa, step up. But they need you. If you want the program there, you got to do more than just being like, whoa, hold on. Your fake Facebook, Instagram, X, Twitter outrage. Go see a tennis game.
And one of the reasons there was outrage was, according to, because once they got rid of the tennis program for a while, the coaches and players started talking. And according to them, there was no discussions with them until the day they were told Arkansas will no longer have tennis. And so, in my mind, it makes Juracek look very bad. Okay. Now, in his mind, he may think it makes him look good that he's showing grace and mercy and letting them come back. It looks just bad. Why didn't you, once again, like you said, why is this necessary? Why did we not have these conversations ahead of time? Why didn't you pull the coach aside and say, hey, man, I'm fixing to have to cut your program if you can't call some alumni and get some money? Now, word is they've got $5 million raised, but what they've had to agree to was try to get a $50 million endowment. Okay. What that'll make them be able to do is pretty much the program can run off of the interest from that endowment, because it'll be around $2.5 million of interest a year that they would be able to live off that endowment. So if they can get 50 million put into an account somewhere that they can work off of.
Well, and what's crazy is tennis isn't one of them sports that you're going to go to for NIL money. You're going to go because I can get a free education.
Yeah.
And maybe showcase my skills. Do you think that tennis coach is having an easy time recruiting right now?
Oh, it's got to be terrible.
I mean, yeah, you're going to get. There's 16 SEC schools. You're going to get what the other 15 don't want.
Well, if you're a coach at Texas, you're going to use this against them. You're going to say, "Hey, don't go to Arkansas. They may get rid of their program. You never know."
Yeah,
they've already shown they don't support tennis. Why would you want to go there? You may not. Yeah. You may be like those kids that committed there. Now, Clint, that brings up another question though, because tennis is when all this came out, there's other programs that cost the university a lot more money and lose. The only ones that make the university money is football and basketball. And football by far, even though we were 2-10, made, I think it's like $30 million profit, right? Basketball made like $2 million profit. Okay. Everybody else lost money. So my question is, what's going to happen? Or here, let me set it up a little bit. What is the one thing we can say about Arkansas athletics if people say, well, LSU's had all these baseball championships and Alabama's got all these football championships? What's the one thing we've always been able to say at Arkansas?
Travis, I'm happy you brought this up because, everybody loves to trash Hunter Yurachek. They love him. They love to. It is a hobby of them. Like, do you know which SEC school has the most conference championship in the SEC the last decade?
Arkansas. Yeah.
Arkansas.
Yeah.
So the overall health.
But why is that? That's the point I'm trying to get to, though. Why is that?
Get into that. Don't try to pin me down like a lawyer there, Johnson.
Okay.
Now, so the reason you have that is because of the track program.
That's right.
You know what? We brag about 40-something national. Was it 49?
We're in the 50s, I think, now.
In the 50s national titles, like we have X amount of national titles. We have one in football. We have one in basketball. Every other one is
track, or I think we've got some others like in some other sports, but they're just here.
The line share 40 plus national championships.
Majority of them, exactly.
40 plus national.
And it's not only that, and I'm gonna give credit to Alyssa Orange on the morning huddle with DJ Williams and them the other day. She was talking about this. Not just the players that go there with the Arkansas track program, but even when you watch the Olympics, a good percentage of those Olympic athletes, the track athletes, train at Arkansas. So they may not be students there, but they're at least going there and training, and that helps with recruiting other track athletes. That helps with a lot of things. It's just prominence, right? But Clint, what's going to happen when the money's not there to keep we have the best track facilities in the country right now.
Period. The end.
But what's going to happen when the money's not there to put in those facilities because we got to pay a left guard $700,000 a year, or we got to pay a quarterback $2.5 million a year, or we got to pay a point guard $4 million a year?
Well, it is a problem somebody smarter than me is going to figure out, because that's the world we're living in.
And here's the thing. It's not something we're going to say, well, okay, we're going to see the problem next year. Okay. It's going to be something that we're going to look down the road and say, well, crap, look what happened. And we're already seeing it with facilities. Look at Bud Walton. People are already starting to complain about Bud Walton. And Yurichek's tried to do a fundraiser to upgrade Bud Walton. But he was asking for NIL money at the same time, and you can't get both. You only get so much blood out of a turnip, right? Then, right now we say Baum Walker's the best place to watch college baseball. Well, you know what? If we can't put money into it and keep those baseball facilities up because we got to pay for the players, but the facilities, something's going to suffer. Because that $18.5 million for the profit sharing that was injected into the paying players this year, that was money that went into facilities. That was money that went into support staff and support. That wasn't like new money that just showed up. Like no one said, hey, Arkansas, here's $18 million. They said, hey, Clint, you got $100 in your pocket. Well, you got to spend 18 of that on this bill this month. You added another bill to your household.
Trav, at the end of the day, money's tight these days.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Gas is over $4 a gallon, blah, blah, blah. We can talk
All
about,
of it.
We can talk about, it's just the cost of living has gone up.
Yeah.
So you got your regular guy from Arkansas, your guy that works at Arkansas Nuclear One, or whatever, wherever he's working at. You're working at a lumber mill, Tyson plant, or something like that. You've got $100 to donate. You got $100. Like that's what I've got. That's my disposable income. I've got passion for the Razorbacks. I have $100 to donate. Okay, what am I going to do with this $100? I can either give it to the NIL for to bring in, help bring in the left guard, or I can help fix a toilet at Bud Walton Arena.
Yeah.
Well, they can figure out how to fix a toilet. I'd rather have the guard. I mean, that's, there's only so much income in the state of Arkansas for the people to give.
Well, and now, and to be, to get more in the business of it, look, if we're winning 10 games a year in football, the money's going to be made to where both can happen. Okay. That's the thing. If the money's spent wisely, then both can happen. Okay. To some extent.
But but you know what the crazy thing about sports is, Travis? And this is Arkansas, this is everybody, especially the coaching profession. But everything you're trying to do, someone else is trying to beat you.
Yeah.
Someone else is trying to set you up for failure. As you're trying to set yourself for success, someone else is trying to set you up for failure. So it's not like Arkansas is going to get this. Let's just say we get a $500 million war chest from Walmart. Do you think LSU is going to take that line down? No. Do you think South Carolina is going to take it down? There is not a school in the SEC that's going to take a line, because you know what they're going to do? They're going to go to their side like, look, if you want to stay ahead of Arkansas, we need money. And then if they can raise it, then Arkansas's got to go, okay, we want to keep up South Carolina, we got to raise money.
Well, the other thing that came out since our last podcast was the list of what all the schools in the SEC are spending on athletics. And the difference between us and Texas is huge. Yeah. Texas is spending $167 million on athletics. Arkansas is spending $30 million on athletics, or 32 or something like that. Okay. That's a huge difference. Okay.
Most of it just going to Arch Manning, though.
Well, he's supposed to only be getting $6 million, but he's making his up on national commercials. And
Warby Parker.
When you got the last name Manning, you can do that. So anyway, Clint, I think it's just something as fans we got to think about as this goes. It's kind of like the illustration I've used was War Memorial Stadium. Okay. In the 80s, we were playing 3 or 4 games at War Memorial every year because it was one of the nicest stadiums in the country. It was a nice stadium. Okay. But money wasn't put into it. and now it doesn't deserve to have any games, and we would all agree with that because it's a crappy stadium. The only reason we want to have it there is for the fans. But if you went by facility itself, besides just the atmosphere the fans bring, everybody would say the bathrooms are terrible, concession stands are terrible, the stands are terrible, everything's terrible because they haven't upgraded it because it hasn't made money, right? And that's what will end up happening to some of those facilities in Fayetteville if the priority has to be to these players. And that's
Travis,
where the NCAA could very much help us out. But anyway.
Completely off topic here. But you brought this. Okay, so should the Arkansas State Championship football games, should they be played in War Memorial or should they be played in Reynolds Razorback Stadium?
I still like them in War Memorial because the travel.
The central part of the state?
Yeah, because say Camden, when they played in the state championship, it's a hour 45-minute drive to Little Rock. That's even on a school bus, right? Or maybe 2 hours on a school bus. On a school bus to get to Fayetteville, about 6 hours.
Yeah.
If you and me were just driving in our car, 5 hours, 4.5, 5 hours. But when you're taking a bus full of kids, you got to stop at gas stations,
I even think it's the point.
90 kids to go to the bathroom, all that kind of stuff.
I think it's the point.
It's a hard trip.
Yeah. You're better served playing it in Conway.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I agree.
Anyway.
In fact, UCA might be even better because it is a little bit of a smaller stadium also. And so it would be a little, the stands would be fuller. It wouldn't be, just a, group of people in a big landscape. Well, Clint, man, there's lots of other stuff, but we're getting low on time here. So
we were going to talk some NBA, but we've already lost enough viewers.
Yeah, we can talk. There'll be more NBA to talk about next week, I'm sure. But folks, root on that baseball team. Okay, and by the way, congratulations to our boy Camden Kozel. He's now engaged.
Oh,
so
welcome to Camden.
Yeah. So, and he did it on their anniversary, but he did it beside a pond. In true Camden Kozel fashion. So that was cool. But anyway, so good. Congratulations to him and his fiance. So Clint, man, another one in the can.
So hopefully your editing skills are on point since we had to stop a couple of times.
We got this.
You got it. So.
All right, folks. Well, like, share, subscribe. All the things, comment, let us know what you think about some of the stuff we talked about, and follow us on all the social media platforms.
Sweat,
because we're on almost all of them. So anyway, Clint, have a great one, buddy.
Hi, everybody.
Kingdom come. Sweat, work, filthy, dirt, harvest, hurt. Kingdom come. That's why I sweat when I work. My hands get filthy down in this dirt. Won't see no harvest till I hurt. Crying your kingdom come. Listen, I wake up in the morning, I bow my head to pray. Mama told me if I don't, ain't nothing gonna change. These prayers breaking up hard drive so I can sow the seed. Ain't afraid of no aches and pain. Lord knows I gotta follow his lead. That's why I sweat when I work. My hands get filthy down in this dirt. Won't see no harvest till I hurt. Crying your kingdom come.